These are our ghost adventures.
Hi, what's up everybody? My name is Nicole Nightfall. I am a psychic medium. I'm also a death witch, which means I work mainly with the dead, of course, and I am a paranormal investigator as well. So I had this idea to do reaction videos from Ghost Adventures way back in the beginning. Now, I'm a Ghost Adventures fan, but I definitely have a love-hate relationship with some of the things, and a lot of the hate I have comes back from their earlier seasons. And I have watched the show since day one, every paranormal show that came out, especially in those years. I'm dating myself a little bit here. I was enthralled by, especially since I started working with Ouija boards and all this stuff when I was around like 9, 10 years old. So this has been a huge part of my life. And this show has obviously skyrocketed the popularity with some of what I do. But I wanted to do commentary from the perspective of, yes, being a medium, being a witch who primarily works with the dead, and also a paranormal investigator, because as we all know, our friend Zach and, and in some of these other shows, he's not the only one, paint witchcraft and label a lot of these ghosts and these spirits as demons, and it kind of misidentifies what exactly we're working with. So it's for shock value. And I understand they have a show to produce, but I really wanted to do this series to kind of clarify what's actually happening here and what's exaggerated and what else it could possibly be. So let's get started. All right, here we go. Ghost Adventures. I watched some of the later ones, but I have not seen the first season of Ghost Adventures. I don't think it's since I was just gonna say 2008. So I graduated college around that time. So I haven't seen these in that long. It's been that many years. So this should be, oh, look at the hair already. Look at that hair. All right, Zach, I'm coming for you. Bobby Mackey's. This is an infamous location if you are a paranormal investigator, and you will see why.
My name is Zach Bagans. I never
I have so much nostalgia right now.
believed in ghosts until I came face to face with one. I am joined only by my fellow investigator Nick Groff and our equipment tech Aaron Goodwin.
I love
The
Aaron.
three of us.
Can we take a second for the hair? Can we just take a second for the hair? Okay.
Murders as well as satanic cult activity.
There's a warning sign. This establishment is purported to be haunted. Management is not responsible and cannot be held liable for any actions of any ghost spirits on.
Okay, so there's quite a few haunted locations I've been to. They make you sign a waiver. And it's not just a waiver for if you like trip and fall or something, of the natural world. They make you sign waivers, or they give warnings just like this. And I've signed a waiver myself for this very thing.
But it's my opinion, it was given here as a blood sacrifice to the devil.
The sacrifice took place at the abandoned well, the last remnant of the slaughterhouse. Formerly used to channel blood from the killing floor, it is now thought to be the gateway to hell itself.
It's my opinion that Alonzo, Wally, Scott Jackson are two of the ghosts here at Bobby Mackey's. Wally.
I'm going to take this second to clarify as well, because the media loves to throw away the word satanic or satanic witches, like all of them are evil or do bad things or kill people. And that could not be farther from the truth. Think twice before you start to think ill on people who claim to be satanic witches. It is not what you think it is, and it's because of media just like this that we have been brainwashed to believe a great many things about witchcraft in general and different traditions that are not true at all. So right off the bat, we are starting with a huge stereotype in Hollywood and on TV about satanic witches that is not true. Make up your mind for yourself. Don't just believe what you see in Hollywood about witches.
Interview her about her experience, but she wouldn't talk to us. I asked why.
Janet didn't believe in ghosts.
I also want to add too, and it still bothers me, and I can't even pay attention. On top of that, because he's saying that it created a portal. A portal can be created many different ways. It's not necessarily a satanic portal. You can't exactly just designate it to one specific deity or whatever. And blood sacrifices can be given for a number of certain things, and there is no definitive proof so far that I have seen with this anyway, that it's necessarily a satanic cult. How did you know it was a satanic cult? I guess I'll watch and find out, because I don't remember, obviously, this part from 2008. It's been quite a while.
We've heard there's a lot of demonic spirits here.
Yes, there's more.
Not all spirits are demonic. And Zach and all of these people love to just call everything demonic. Not all spirits are evil. Even if you're attacked by a spirit, it doesn't even necessarily mean they're evil. There might be something about you they don't like, or they may even be protecting other spirits that they are connected to that are associated with that location, and they see you as a threat of some sort. So you have to think of it like, what is their perspective in this whole thing? It does not necessarily mean they are evil, and it absolutely does not mean it's demonic. But let's keep watching.
These evil spirits, did they ever get to you?
Yes, they did.
He had become demonically possessed. And the Reverend Glenn Cole spent 6 hours performing an exorcism on him back in this old area here.
And you witnessed.
Man, we're getting a lot right out the gate. I am not even 5 minutes in, and here we go. I see this, and it is a great misinterpretation for what we have going on with all these shows. In some traditions, it is called mounting, when you are mounted by a spirit. And it's actually a great honor for a spirit to mount you. Now, of course, if it's unwelcomed and you do not want it, then it's something else entirely. It could be an attachment or just a temporary possession or an experience. It, again, does not mean it's demonic. It does not mean you need an exorcism. So, again, they are using very harsh terms for fear-mongering. It does not mean it's a demonic possession. You may even be in the presence of a good spirit, and they may even just be so close to you that you start to take on their emotions or their thoughts, and it does not mean that they are possessing you or attaching fully to you or causing you any harm.
Hands around a pastor's neck. I had no recollection of what happened.
Do you think that the evil spirit or...
So that is what happens when you are mounted by a spirit. Again, it is a temporary experience. You black out. And that's how you know you've actually had an experience like that, because you will not recall anything. They even say you won't blink. So I have been temporarily mounted, not for very long. I would say no longer than maybe like 5-6 minutes so far. And you do black out. 100% you black out. So that's fairly accurate there.
Any kind of paranormal experiences here at Bobby Mackey's?
I came in here one day, the jukebox started playing, and I had walked over there, and it was unplugged. The record was going around and around, like there was a record on it, but there was nothing on it, and the song that was on the jukebox wasn't even on the jukebox.
What song was it?
It was the anniversary loss.
I want to add on to this experience. I grew up in a bar. We owned and operated a bar for well over 20 years, and it was my father's pride and joy. And even when he was still alive, our building was very haunted. A murder even happened there, which I didn't even learn about until after I left there. And I had been into the paranormal and all this stuff my whole life, and I had found out, like, seriously just a few months ago that somebody was murdered in the kitchen. And that would have explained so much. I knew people had died on the location. Somebody had ingested drugs during a police raid when it was one of the businesses before us, long before we had it. And then the ghost of the spirit of a woman who used to live in one of the apartments in the back also haunts it. Like, there's quite a few. And then, of course, my father passed, and the activity kicked up even more. And we had a jukebox, and it would play randomly all these songs, like, out of nowhere. Before it was even a digital one, when it was like an old one, it used to play music. And spirits love music. So I always say, too, if you want to try to connect to your own spirits, or if you want to banish even negative ones, choose your songs wisely. So if you have a lot of negative paranormal activity in your home, or you believe like that negative spirits are following you, watch the music you're playing. Keep the music light, keep it going, and be careful what you're consuming with that. This is a great example, and I've witnessed this so many times, even with the car radio, with spirits turning on and playing random songs.
Named him Randy Mackey. At 1 day old, something came over Bobby's mom and she changed his name to Robert Randall Mackey. The crooner that was murdered here was named Robert Randall.
Reincarnation, I don't believe in. It's very coincidental that his name would be Robert Randall.
And sometimes I think dark history has a way of repeating itself.
If anything like that is possible,
So in that case, I do not believe it's reincarnation. I believe the spirit positively influenced his mother to rename him. And that can happen a lot too. A lot of our thoughts sometimes can be that of spirit. Sometimes we get these ideas and they're not necessarily our own. They come from spirits outside of us.
I think they're going to be curious about you. I think they just want to see what your intentions
I
are.
want to provoke the hell out of them. I just want to stand up to them. I mean, who are they? Who are these spirits to be bullies and to possess you? I want to taunt the hell out of them. I want to provoke them, give them a taste of their own medicine and see what happens when we do that.
Exactly this moment here, personified from Zach's early days. And this is a huge problem that those of us that are psychic mediums, that are into witchcraft, especially when we work with the dead, this is a huge thing. You do not disrespect spirit. It is not like they are not necessarily a bunch of bullies. As I explained earlier, even that possession, that doesn't mean that they meant to harm him. You don't provoke a spirit and then anger them further. Like I explained before, they may be defensive for a reason. So then you now give them further reason to be defensive and you are disrespecting them. So there's a time and place for that, and it is not, you do not start doing that out of the gate. You wait how the spirit interacts with you and you go from there. And still, as we see with Zach in these early years, he takes it way too far. And he has since atoned for that, but it's this stuff that infuriated us as a community.
It won't surprise me that if your cameras break, if your audio and your video goes out, because everybody that's ever came here to try to investigate this has had video and audio problems with their film. I firmly believe this place is still haunted.
So to add to that, I think we have all learned from watching all of these shows that that's because spirit drains batteries and other types of electronics to manifest. So they use that energy and manipulate it so they can try to use the equipment. And sometimes that causes the equipment to malfunction or to break. And in other cases, sometimes spirits do not appreciate being recorded or provoked or asked to perform tricks, so to say, or they feel that way, like you're treating them as like a circus sideshow. So they will break your equipment. So that could go either way, and they don't necessarily sometimes intend to break the equipment. In fact, I think that is 9 times out of 10 what happens. And then you have that one time where a spirit's just like, enough already.
This was the old kitchen of Bobby Mackey's. After the exorcism occurred, the entire wall caught fire, and the fire department had to come put the fire out. They could not explain what caused the fire.
So when you perform a exorcism, sometimes you just piss the spirit off. Sometimes when you just ask a bunch of paranormal investigators, like the Ghost Adventures crew, or any amateur down the street with the camera, or even somebody who might have like a big group in the county or state and where you live, if they don't have somebody there who knows what they're doing, how to close portals, how to calm energies, how to treat spirits with respect, that is what you are going to get. A lot of times they lash out back at you. In other cases, and I've had this from a seance that I've done myself, the activity will kick up if you do not close things properly. You even may have experienced this if you've tried to like sage your house or use Florida water or something to cleanse. They may have kicked back a little bit. So that means you didn't do it properly, and in fact you've just agitated the ghost or the spirit, or they want to communicate with you further. They take it as an invitation. So all things, when you use them, they need to be researched, and you need to know how to properly use them. You don't just light up a sage bundle and go around your house waving it. That's not always the case and how it works.
You're going to get what you're looking for here.
Yeah, I hope I don't get too much.
Left behind from the days of the slaughterhouse, the well was the key to the hauntings at the club. Matt took us around back to the only...
I want to add too, because he said it very quickly in the beginning and I got sidetracked with other bullshit that he said. Slaughterhouses are notorious for this type of activity. There's something with the blood in the animal too, because that is used in also many different traditions as offerings for greater spirits, especially when it's a specific type of animal that is associated with that deity, that saint, that whatever you would like to call it. It will invoke them, and sometimes it brings in things that are unsavory. Again, I do not like to use the word demonic because it's not always demonic, but sometimes they are spirits that higher level spirits that are invoked by this and sometimes provoked. Spirits, when you begin offering them blood, get hungry for it. So when the flow of blood stops, they can get angry because they want more.
There was the satanic circle. It was glowing green. Well, I had put my hand down on the ground, and the floor was hot.
So I think it's a really good idea if we place another X in here, maybe in a corner. Let's cover this whole room and see if we can get it together.
So, just based on the fact that there is a slaughterhouse here, I believe very much that this could be a portal. Just based on this guy's description and what's happening here. It's actually not that very hard to open up a portal. Hell, your basic Ouija board can be used as a portal, which is why they can be dangerous in the wrong hands. But this is pretty serious when you have a slaughterhouse and that blood flow like we talked about.
Is there somebody here? If this is a portal to hell, if this is the portal to hell, well, why don't you come up out of that ground and come and get us?
So that right there is a perfect example of something you should not do. So right there, what Zach did was he invited any spirit to come through and mount him, possess him, attach to him, have an experience with. And it could be any spirit, from Joe Schmo spirit walking on by to an evil demonic presence like he's saying here, or even an elemental spirit. So anything that has an energy that could wish him harm or want to hurt him or follow him around for the rest of his life, he has now invited to come to him and do something to him. It's an invitation, an invocation that he is not prepared for.
I'm getting like this bad burning sensation on my back.
What?
Like it's burning.
So I can tell without even knowing that he's just been scratched or bitten. I'm guessing scratched. And that's his invitation personified right there, and that is not a good thing. In some traditions, people seek to be scratched, but it's through a very specific spirit, and you're surrounded by spiritual people who know what they are doing. And it's part of an initiation. In this circumstance, when you're a paranormal investigator or a regular person walking through a haunted location, it's not a good thing because it means you've been marked. You've been marked by a spirit. And that's not a good thing. It's not like it's a little temporary tattoo you go home and you wash off in the shower. You're going to need a lot of spiritual baths. You might need a breaking, a exorcism, if you want to call it that, or a few healings to maybe get rid of it. But here's the thing. Those aren't guaranteed. There's only so much you can do sometimes. When a spirit gets in, and there's nothing you can do about it. So this invitation he might have done before he got scratched could have invited something to take up a lot of space in his life for the rest of his life. It could be something that causes him injuries, problems with future relationships. It could cause family problems. It could cause financial problems. It could cause a lot of different things depending on what the spirit wants to take up space for in your life. So this is very dangerous if you get scratched or bitten. So let's say I was with them right now, or with somebody who got scratched or bitten. First, I would probably chastise them for saying something like that. And then I would say you should have properly prepared yourself for this. So whether you're using cascarilla, Florida water, spiritual baths before you get here, and wearing a protective amulet, crystals, whatever you spiritually or energetically identify with for protection, to wear it. And that still doesn't safeguard you from something like this. It could still happen. And then afterwards, it would be regimens of spiritual baths, of breaking, healings, exorcisms, whatever we could do to get rid of it.
Nick, I'm shooting. You all right, man?
No, I don't know. I feel dizzy and I just feel weird. I feel burning right here. I feel burning right here. Right here. It's like burning. Is there anything right here? There's no?
Turn your I can't see with the night vision. Turn your flashlight.
It's just burning. Somewhere around here.
Oh my god!
What?
Scratch.
What? Say turn around. What? Just stay there. I need to document this.
What is it?
Stay there.
What is it?
Stop moving.
Okay, then what the f is it?
It's a scratch.
What do you mean?
Holy Aaron, turn your... We need to get this on camera, man.
Yo.
Aaron, do you got that?
Yeah, dude. Do this.
Go sit out here, dude.
I don't want to do this.
Here, follow him. You alright?
So this should definitely be a lesson for anybody watching, but of course it never is. I feel like the damage that came the most from Ghost Adventures, even though I still consider myself a fan and I do actually like Zach Bagans, but from these early years especially, I feel like this influenced a lot of really bad behavior from paranormal investigators to do this stuff. And not only is it disrespectful to spirits, you are really putting yourself in harm's way.
Gosh.
There we go.
I got a good shot of it.
Oh, man.
Is it bad?
There's a couple... You got a couple of scratches.
Oh my god.
What the f*** is going on?
So that one, this one right here, looks like a bite. You can also get bit. Whatever way they can draw blood, they're gonna do it. So if this were to happen, and I hope it never does to anybody watching, the first thing you want to try to do is stay calm. And I know that's very hard to do. But when you escalate your emotions, whether it's fear or anger, as Zach is showing, both of those, again, it's a negative energy you're exuding. So you're feeding more negativity. Remember, we attract what we put out. So if you're projecting negativity, you're going to attract more negativity. The best thing to do is to be as neutral as possible. Remove yourself from the situation, neutralize it, do emergency cleansings, and go back to it if you have to. But at this point, he's just egging on whatever has just attacked him. He's feeding it. He's feeding this negative spirit with more negativity.
Why don't you come out here and do it to one of them?
I'm gonna take a couple pictures.
Guys, it burns really bad. I want to get out.
So I don't often say there are orbs, but I just saw 2 orbs. It looked like some anomalies coming through, and you could tell by the light pattern and how it moved that it might be an orb. I'm sure if they caught it, they'll replay it right now.
Out of this room.
At this exact time, we captured a couple different pieces of unexplained phenomena on this camera. Watch the left-hand side of the screen and you'll see what appears to be a couple glowing anomalies moving downward, then disappearing.
Right here.
And also, this orb of light appearing to shoot straight out from my back with lightning speed.
Think to yourself, wow, what a tough guy this guy is. I scratched the hell out of him, and he's still coming for more. Well, you're damn right I'm coming for more. I want to talk to the piece of who scratched me on my back 25 different times. Come and do it again. Why do you got to do it on my back? Do it on my face. Scratch Aaron's forehead. Why is it me? Because I'm the one talking all the
Duh.
Place some candles all around here, and I'm not placing them in no like ritualistic satanic way. Right where I'm standing right now is.
How does one place something in a ritualistic or satanic way? With candles. Do tell, Zachary.
Can you believe that?
Just before we walk into frame, I thought I saw something in the corner of my eye. This was the same spot where during the walkthrough we saw an apparition. We immediately went right to the area to investigate, but there was nothing there. We were totally unaware
That's crazy.
that our static night vision camera captured this unexplained apparition. After analyzing the footage, we also noticed this figure to be wearing an old cowboy hat. Is this the ghost of Scott Jackson who violently murdered his girlfriend Pearl?
I'm ready to get out of here.
I'm ready to get the.
So I hate when they do that too on Ghost Adventures. He just tries to make these really these connections, like bringing it back to the original stories. Seriously, if there's a portal open and he's provoking spirits left and right, and now both him and Nick have invited these spirits to scratch them, to attack him. They've given them invitations. This can really be any spirit or entity that is taking on the form of a man. It's a stretch. It's always a stretch here. That's still really cool that they called that, though.
Mackey's led us to consult with a different kind of specialist, Bishop James Long of St. Christopher's Old Catholic Church.
This guy's also on TikTok. I follow him, this priest.
I'm the presiding Archbishop for the United States Old Catholic Church. I study demonology. I do travel all over the United States to perform exorcisms if need be.
That was 3 days after.
3 marks is the mocking of the Trinity. And so that's why it's demonic in nature. And the fact that you were provoking, the fact that you were in obviously a place where demonic entities are known to exist and attack people, it let you know that it's there.
We did capture a black shadow of a man.
So I've always wondered, because I've only ever heard that through here, the mocking of the Trinity. And obviously from a Catholic Church perspective, they would use that. But I will add on that I've seen 2 people scratched, and both times it was 3 that went down their back. 3 marks, 3 scratches, just like that. And I've seen a bite, and that was not 3. It was like a few like light puncture. I don't even want to call it puncture. It was like grazed marks, but yeah, it was 3 as well for the 2 that I've seen.
But I advocate that paranormal investigators should stay away from provoking, because things of that nature, like you being scratched, what you received was minor.
Is it crazy if I say that I don't want to stop doing it?
You're a tough guy, you're a strong guy, but you're thinking on a physical level. The thing is you gotta.
So that's where it got really obnoxious for a lot of people with Zach. And at this age, when I was first watching him, I've forgotten like a lot of this stuff. You know, I thought it was cool too. I thought he was like such a badass. Like, I didn't realize even at that time, like he doesn't now, that it's incredibly messed up, and it's like, it's super douchey. And the advice that he's giving now, the bishop, is like really good. Is, you know, the advice I've been giving. You can't. There's other ways, like when they did the music and other things, and of course you can get nasty with the spirit if it's getting nasty with you first, but you have to neutralize your emotions and handle it professionally. You can't handle it like some drunk guy at the bar or some bouncer at a club. Like, that's not. It's you think it's a good look for TV, which I think is what, you know. Obviously, when he went into this, he was way more in it for the television show aspect, the Hollywood aspect, the dramatizations. But for those of us who work in this world, it's not a good look, Zach. And I always wondered if he ever went to get like cleansings or to get stuff like this done after this, because being scratched, having blood drawn from you, that's no joke. And I've always wondered. I'm sure he felt the after effects for that for years. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for my first episode of Ghost Adventures Reacting. I plan on doing, after getting like the first few out of the way with the common advice I would give, I want to do like blocks of whole seasons or half seasons or a few episodes at a time. Considering this was my first one and I had a lot of technical issues with my camera and everything else, we're just going to start with this first episode. So if you would like to see more, please like or comment or offer your own opinion. Thanks so much, guys, and hopefully I'll see you soon.